Hello everyone back. We've never named the show. Whatever fantasy show name you want to put up, give us a fantasy name show down below and we might do that. I just came up with that just right then because you know I like to want to say that show. But first of all, we want to say the top 5 names for fantasy football teams that you got out there. One was my favorite. Hey Clutch, you want to give them the 5 names, the 5 top?
I got 5, and then I got an honorable mention. We'll go with honorable mention. Maurice Bones Dews by David the Barber 1313. That's Maurice Jones-Drew. Bones is Brett Favre, and Dews is Troy Polamalu.
Yeah.
So pretty clever. Forte Year-Old Virgin by 83 Big Red 83.
I like that Big Red. That's funny.
Number 4 is Desi Does Dallas by Sublime ZG.
Sublime.
This is your favorite.
That's my boy.
Over Dwayne Bowe.
That's my favorite.
Long Live Crow.
Somewhere Over Dwayne Bowe. That's who did that? Long Live Crow. Long Live Crow. Somewhere Over Dwayne Bowe.
Broken Clavicles by David Barber 1313.
That's wrong.
And number 1 on the list. Destiny's Child 88 by Carly YouTube.
That's a little homerism in there. I like Carly and I like Dez. All right.
That was a good one.
Now I'm going to go quickly to his calls last week because you see the title of the video. I really screwed him that time. Telling everybody to bench Tom Brady, and Tom Brady went complete madman on him. Explain yourself.
I'm sorry. I guess you can't really bet on Tom Brady. I easily forget what it's like to have a coach that will actually chew out their quarterback. And Bill Belichick did that, so we saw what happens when a coach chews out a quarterback.
He comes back crazy, yelling at linemen, yelling at everybody. We don't have time for imperfection. Tom Brady looks scary now. All right, let's go quickly into your sits for this week coming up.
All right. Let's see. Basically, the entire Houston Texans offense, Matt Schaub, Aaron Fox, Andre Johnson. The Jets' defense is
nasty.
Nasty.
Yeah. Good word for it.
You took the words right out of my mouth. And Gary Kubiak is not a good play caller, obviously, and I don't see them doing much. I mean, Andre Johnson is. You know what? You can start him, but don't expect huge numbers out of any of the players. Are you starting?
We're going against each other this week. Are you actually not starting Arian Foster? I get your team without Arian Foster this week.
You get my team without Arian Foster.
He going down. All right, go ahead.
Kyle Orton versus San Diego. San Diego is still the top defense against quarterbacks. I love Kyle Orton. I think he's actually number 2.
They look nasty. Yeah, Kyle Orton looks amazing, dude.
But not this week.
Okay.
Steve Smith from Carolina versus Baltimore. I don't even know why I have to throw this in, but it seems that people are still drinking Steve Smith's Kool-Aid, and it's no. Who was it? Brian St. Paul Pierre or some guy that just picked up off a
St. Pierre is gonna
free agency.
Yep.
Not gonna happen this week.
Not good.
Greg Jennings versus the Vikings. I don't know what to say. Greg Jennings just hasn't really shown me a lot. He's been great in spurts, but he's not very good at getting open. Aaron Rodgers might suffer too. This is a division rivalry game, and you can never really tell with those games what's going to go on with players.
Hold on, just said. Oh, he's getting Aaron Rodgers this week. He can talk about Aaron Rodgers all he wants to. He's going to get out Aaron Rodgers this week. Go ahead. All right.
You're going to laugh at me. Steven Jackson versus the Atlanta Falcons.
Like the Steven Jackson?
One thing that Atlanta's really good at, and it's run defense.
Babineau.
They kind of suck at pass defense, and you can say what you want about their offense, but they're good at stopping the run, and Steven Jackson, the Rams are going to be paying from behind.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but your point here is the Rams will probably be playing from behind most of the game versus Atlanta, and that makes sense more than, Atlanta's going to stop Steven Jackson, but them playing from behind, that makes a little sense there. Next one?
And last set, every week it changes with this guy. LeGarrette Blount versus San Francisco.
The dive he did last week.
They suck at the pass. They suck at the pass. Let's face that. So they're going to be king on the run.
So
in San Francisco, I don't see him doing very much this week.
And Patrick Willis is running the middle. Yeah. All right, give us some starts, man.
Rashard Mendenhall versus the Raiders. Raiders are not a good run defense team. And I think after last week's, I would say embarrassment. Some people might not, but the Steelers need to get back to what they're good at, and that is running the ball. Period. Rashard Mendenhall needs to put up big numbers this week against Raiders, and they should be ahead most of the game.
Yeah.
And they should.
They should control. They should control the Raiders, and if they control the Raiders, they're pounding them with their running game. Exactly. All right, next one.
Matty Ice,
my boy.
Matt Ryan versus St. Louis. St. Louis does have a good pass defense, but I thought the Baltimore Ravens did too. Evidently, we were wrong. Matt Ryan is Roddy White all day. I don't know how you bet against those guys ever. They're Roddy White's been a top receiver all year, and it's ridiculous what he's done. And then the whole Jets offense. The Texas defense is so bad.
Start the Jets.
Start the Jets. You're Mark Sanchez. I picked him up. I'm starting him. I can't go against. I gotta go against the Texas defense.
Nice.
Nick Washington versus the Washington Redskins.
Washington still in the league? The Redskins are still in the league? Thought they got
they've been figured out, man.
Exactly banned for their performance.
Nick Washington came through last week, and I think he'll come through this week against a weak Washington's Redskins defense.
Yes.
Now Floyd is back. Put up stellar numbers again against Denver's aging
secondary. Yep.
Starting from words here.
Yep.
I hope he comes back in a big way. Bill Rivers is number one fantasy quarterback, and I think he's going to go back to Malcolm Floyd's number one target since Antonio Gates is probably going to be out again.
Sweet.
Ben Jarvis Green Ellis.
The law firm of.
This game is going to be interesting to watch. But I think that the difference is going to be the run game for the New England Patriots.
Sounds good. And my boys.
Jamal Charles, Thomas Jones was in Arizona. Arizona's defense is not very good against the run, and I think both those guys could put up pretty decent numbers.
All right.
And then, that's about it for the start.
You got some pickups. I see one name on this pickup list, man.
Have you heard of him? There's some guy named John Kitna. He just came out of nowhere.
Killer Kitna. I like to call him Killer Kitna.
Ever, but he's worth. I mean, especially this week, he's worth the pickup. Detroit's weak in the secondary, and he should be able to tear them apart worse than he did the Giants.
That's true. They're one of the few teams that's worse than us in pass defense.
And we got Mike Thomas of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think Gerard made him a legitimate pickup this week.
Yeah.
Even with a spectacular Hail Mary.
He's got most of the touchdowns on that team, though, doesn't he? He leads that team in touchdowns anyway, doesn't he? Mike Thomas?
Sure.
Yeah, I think he does. Either him or the tight end.
Well, he's got his jersey in the Hall of Fame now, so he's definitely worth the pickup.
Yep.
And we got this thing I've seen is Washington Redskins running back Keelan Williams. If you've been following Mike Shanahan's career, he can turn any running back into a star.
Mm-hmm.
Keelan Williams might be that guy.
Yeah.
Porter in terrain can't stay healthy, and this might be the go-to guy for them.
I was that close to starting him last week, and I should have.
Colt McCoy versus the Jacksonville
Love me some Colt McCoy.
I think this might be the only week to pick him up and use him if your other quarterbacks are not spectacular.
All Colt McCoy fans out there, this is your one chance to start him this year. Do it.
Chance. Sean Hill, he might still be available. Go pick him up. Calvin Johnson is still a huge target for him, and they're going to be playing behind almost every game this season.
Yeah.
And Jacoby Ford,
Clemson,
speed guy for the Raiders. I feel like I have to include him. I'm not saying start him now. I think it's a wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
especially against Pittsburgh, but he looks like he might be the number one target pretty soon.
Yeah. And we all... Oh, Reggie Bush.
I say wait and see, because you don't know what they're going to do with him, how they're going to use him. But if you can pick him up and you got no other options, I would go with Reggie Bush just because the
upside.
Seattle's not very good defensively right now.
I picked up Reggie Bush. I think he's going to be a real difference changer for the Saints for the second half of the season. But we all have to wave a big goodbye to DeAngelo Williams' season. If you have him and you were banking on him to get you points, he's done. No more.
I'd go after, if Ben Jarvis Greenhouse is available, I'd go after him or Danny Woodhead.
Or Keelan Williams.
They've both been better than DeAngelo Williams has this season.
Yep.
They might, if they're still available, I'd go out and get them.
All right. And quickly, give me some matchups to watch.
3 games. Green Bay at Minnesota.
I'll be there.
You have to watch this because you got to see what Rodgers does. You got to see how Favre comes back. The whole team, Vikings team, comes back in last week.
Watching Favre melt is great. You hear me?
Indianapolis at New England. There's no reason you should be watching this.
I'll be there.
This is the most bitter rivalry of this decade, in my opinion. And it's always a good game when the two play.
Yep.
And our division rivals are playing this week, and it's going to be a good game. New York Giants at Philadelphia. We're going to see if Vic is legitimate and can go against a legitimate defense. I actually think the Giants are going to win this game based on the sole fact that they're the most complete team between the two.
I don't think so. I don't think the Giants. I don't think the Giants win because the Giants are hurting desperately on their line, on the offensive line, and they proved in their eye game that they couldn't get their running game going. And the Giants without a running game is nothing. So that, coupled with Steve Smith being hurt and Ramses Barden gone, they just have really 2 receivers. So it's going to be tough for them to adjust. I mean, they'll come back later on, but I think the Eagles get them this game. All right.
I don't know, but like I said, this is I think this is Vic's true test because the past two games, Indianapolis and Washington.
Yeah.
He's
going to see 4 guys.
Legitimate defenses. Giants have a way better defense than he faced this season.
Yeah, he's going to see 4 guys. Vic is going to see 4 guys coming at him, and everybody else back in zone area. And he's going to have to be at the top of his game to do good that game.
Yeah.
All right, man. That's it. The fantasy show is now over, and we'll see you again next week, and you can critique what he does. All right. Holla at me. And give us a name for the show. Huh?
Guys, don't forget, we need a name.
Yeah. Give us a name for the show. All right. Holla at you.